So you caught me on vacation. That's right. Got my kids. I'm out of town, and actually in a place called Traverse City, Michigan, which is one of the more beautiful places on earth. And right now, one of the more busiest places on earth, because this is the home of the National Cherry Festival. There's sweet cherries and sour cherries. Amazing. This is, I grew up around this area. I even worked on some of the cherry orchards when I was a boy. Hi, it's Bill. It's Creative License. And thanks again for being a part of the little dog and pony show I put on once a week. I want to thank you for being so kind to all of my sponsors, including Promo Only, DJ Event Planner, DJNTV, my workshop, of course, the entertainment experience, which I have one coming up in November. If you'd like to know more about it, just send me a message and we'll have a personal conversation. And of course, Electro Voice, who had to deal with some stuff about a week and 2 weeks back, and I'll talk about that in another thing. It's amazing how you can get a lot of people to click on your videos if you take a negative view, isn't it? Yeah, we'll talk about that another day. Today I wanted to talk about the idea of the festival, the Cherry Festival here, and then wherever you are, there are festivals as well. And you've been to those festivals and you've done stuff. You know, I'm going to take you guys this way because it's a little more interesting. How do you like that Buster Keaton mural behind me? Isn't that amazing? They do a film festival down here as well. Traverse City is an amazing place. You should come. I know that a lot of DJs work with or do things with and for festivals, or they do like art shows or wedding shows or whatever, but something where you would have a booth, right? Where you would sponsor something, you would have a booth, you'd set yourself up, and then hopefully people will talk to you about your service. They'll take some brochures, or they'll learn about your service, or they'll take a card, or hey, maybe they're getting married and they'll find out about me. Which isn't the worst thing in the world to do. What I find though is that a lot of these people that take on the idea of promoting themselves through a festival or through a show where they have to set up a booth and meet people that are going to regularly traffic to the festival, is that they're not doing anything really interesting. And I thought about that today when I went to, there's an art fair that they have during the festival, arts and crafts. Lots of booths, all with the same exact tent, all with the same exact little things that they could put up, little shelves and little things they could hang their art and their phone or their iPad and their square, and each of the booths look the same. The only thing different is their logo and or how they're talking about their service, right? Their branding, right? Otherwise, nothing in the booths really gives me a reason to go into that booth. Unless I go there looking for ceramics, or if I go there looking for jewelry. I see the jewelry booth, I see the ceramics booth. I see the bald man brush, which is one of those things you see at every arts and crafts thing. You know, the brush with no bristles. Ha ha. But they're all the same. I wandered by them the way I wander by all of them, which is kind of aimlessly wandering past this one and that one. Nothing very interesting. Nothing really drawing me in. It's because they were all the same. Every last one of these were exactly the same. Nothing to make them different except for the product that was inside the booth. Nothing to get me to stop at the booth. Okay, now I know that people say, well, try candy, you know, or you have to stop by for something free. And that works. It works okay. But what they weren't doing is no one was doing something that made you go, oh, I've never seen that before. And it's tough to find that thing, I know. But here's a surefire way to find that thing. Because you've been to bridal shows, you've been to art festivals, you've been to festivals, and you see how this stuff gets set up. And you got to write down all the things you've seen, right down to the booth, to the tent, to the music, to everything they're doing, and say, well, this happens and that happens, and all these people do the same exact thing. Number one, what aren't they doing? That'll help you. Number two, what aren't they doing that is missing at the art show that would make you go, oh, I need to stop? Okay, you know two things that were missing at this little art festival, outdoors in the heat? Nobody had any water. Not one person had any water. That would have drawn me into a booth to get a glass of water and stop and watch. And there was no little benches for anyone to sit at as they were going through the booth. Okay, one person brings a booth and they bring a bench or two benches or a few chairs and it says anybody can sit at them, and all of a sudden you've got people stopping at your booth. Once you have them at your booth, you have something to talk about. There wasn't anybody selling water at this art festival, and it was a big little art festival. Okay, we walked around for 45 minutes to an hour, and all I kept saying was, man, if there was a water station every 3 booths, that guy would be making a fortune. No. Or you could have just given water away, which have drawn people to your booth and give them a chance to check out your product, which is not a whole lot different than everybody else's. So, what are you doing to draw people to you when you're doing a festival, when you're doing an art show, when you're doing a wedding show or an event show, when you have to put up a booth? What is it you're doing, and not what everybody always does? What's the thing that will make people go, I need to stop there? Something to think about? I think there's something to think about there. And I think when you go to each one of these, there is something that you will be able to find that nobody else is doing. Do that. Be successful. And then once you got them, easy peasy, right? Thanks for being a part of the show. If you got any advice on this, or if you just think I'm just plain wrong, go ahead. Comments below. Tell everybody. Till next time, I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I'll see you next time. Bye.